Hello dear friends, again very warm welcome to all of you. Right now we are going to look the very important topic of our anatomy, that is our cubital fossa. So try to understand, yes, why this topic is important, because every time we all the physician always we measure the blood pressure in front of the elbow. Yes, the brachial artery pulsation, which is very important clinical examination in different kind of the medicine, surgery, this all the our units of the medical science. So that is very important. Okay, biceps jerk we are performing here. So this cubital fossa is having very clinical importance. That's why we are going to talk. So according to the competency based medical education, we are integrating this all the things with our clinical, and we are going to talk about it. Okay, so just to try to understand the few lines, how you will write down in your theory exam all the aspect we are covering. So right now we are going to define it. Okay, we are going to look the definition. What is the definition? First point, what you can remember, yes, it is triangular fossa. It is triangular shaped fossa. Okay sir, where it is located? Located in front of what? Elbow joint. So easy. So in this way you can define. Fine. Now the other things you can say, cubitus means our elbow. Yes, it is Latin word. Fossa means, you can say, space, or you can say depression. So elbow space or elbow depression, you can say in easy way. And definitely to increase the lines for your theory, you can write down the shape, you can write down the location. Same things to present in a better way. Look, shape, it is triangular. Yes sir, we have seen in definition it is triangular. And location, definitely in front of elbow joint. Now we are going to look for the our boundaries. Okay sir, we are going to look for the boundaries, for which we are going to make the diagrammatic presentation. So just to try to understand, yes, in our textbook you will see this different kind of the diagrammatic presentation. Okay, so just integrating with your textbook, you can get this all the points there. Okay, so we are going to look for the boundaries. So just see here, what are our different boundaries. Okay, so we are going to make this diagrammatic presentation. See here, here is our arm. Okay sir, this is our arm, this is our forearm. Fine sir, this is our forearm. Suppose arm and the forearm, and here you can see the bend of the elbow also. Here is a presentation of the our humerus. Yes sir, humerus is having the trochlea and the capitulum. Fine, and there are the presence of the our different bones, radius and ulna also. Okay, so here is our radius, and here is our ulna. Okay sir, radius and ulna. Fine, now try to understand, this is our lateral side, here is our medial side. There is the one muscle which is taking origin from the our humerus, yes, above the lateral supracondylar margin and getting insertion towards the our radius. So this particular muscle is nothing, this is our brachioradialis. Diagrammatic presentation. So one muscle is taking origin and going to take insertion towards the styloid process of the radius. So what is the name of this muscle? This is brachioradialis. Yes sir, I am showing you this brachioradialis muscle in three-dimensional orientation for the better understanding. Yes, see here, can you see our forearm? Here you can concentrate for this particular muscle. This is humerus, here is radius and ulna. One muscle is taking origin from the humerus and getting insertion towards our radius. So this is our brachium to the radius, that's why brachioradialis. Okay, and another muscle I am showing you, can you see this particular muscle is taking origin from the medial epicondyle part, okay, and then getting insertion into the radius on the lateral aspect. So when this muscle will contract, it will do pronation, wide triangular muscle, rounded muscle, that's what teres. So this is our pronator teres. So this is brachioradialis, while the another muscle is located there, which is taking origin from here and getting insertion towards the our radius. Okay, so this particular muscle is our which muscle? Remember, this is our pronator teres. So what you want to say, what you have to say, see here, this particular muscle is our muscle taking origin from the brachium, that's why brachio, inserting into the radius, that's why radialis. And this muscle is our muscle responsible for the pronation, that's why what you will say, pronator, wide triangular muscle, that's why teres. Okay, and we have to think about the one imaginary line, we have to think about the one imaginary line which is taking origin, yes, which is passing from the medial epicondyle and the lateral epicondyle. Getting the point? So this is the imaginary line passing between medial and lateral epicondyle. Okay, so what you can say, yes, it is our imaginary line passing between medial epicondyle and our lateral epicondyle. Getting the point? Okay sir, fine. So you can observe there is a one triangular fossa. This is the word triangular fossa, which is situated in between these muscles. Okay, so what you can draw the boundaries, can you see? These are the boundary, this is the lateral boundary formed by the brachioradialis muscle. Which border? You can say medial border of the brachioradialis. This is the our medial boundary which is formed by which muscle? Answer is pronator teres muscle. Which border? Yes, lateral border. And here you can see the base of this triangle, which is formed by the imaginary line passing between medial and lateral epicondyle. Okay, so you can say brachioradialis, it is making the lateral boundary. The pronator teres, it is making the our medial boundary, and the meeting point in between these two, yes, this meeting point in between these two, that is making the apex, while this particular point is our base, which is formed by the imaginary line. So easy. So what you can mention? Boundaries. So now you can mention the boundaries, or you can say borders. Fine. Lateral boundary, it is formed by the our which muscle? Brachium to the radius, that's why brachioradialis. But for the better answer, You have to remember it is medial border of the brachioradialis. Medial border. MCQ. Each point is MCQ. Then medial boundary. It is formed by the which muscle? You have seen the pronator teres. Which boundary? Lateral side of the pronator teres. That's why you will say lateral border. MCQ. Very important question. And then you can say base. Base is formed by our imaginary line, which is passing between medial epicondyle and lateral epicondyle. Getting the point? Yes, sir. Imaginary line which is passing between the medial and lateral epicondyle. Okay. And what you can remember? Yes, this is the imaginary line which is passing between medial and lateral epicondyle. Fine, sir. Okay. And it is directed where it is situated. Yes, remember it is directed upward, while you can say the apex, it is triangular shape. That's why it is having the apex base medial lateral boundary. Apex, it is directed where? Downward. It is directed downward. What you can remember? Yes, it is directed downside. And yes, you can remember that it is formed by meeting points of medial and lateral border. Yes, this is the apex which is formed by the meeting point of the medial border and the lateral border. Both are meeting here. This is the base. Here is the our medial border. Here is our lateral border. So simple. Just you have to do the diagrammatic presentation. Okay. So after this all, now we are going to move for the further things. Yes, we are going to talk about the our next any space. I told you previously any space is having the boundary. Yes, so mentioning here any space in our body that will have boundary, that will have, yes, roof, that will have floor. What you can remember? Also you can see the contents. Okay, so everywhere you will follow these points. So this is your trick. Any space that will have boundary, roof, floor and content. Suppose this is the room. What are the different thing you can describe? Yes, this roof is having the boundary. Anterior, posterior, medial, lateral. If it is quadrangular, then anterior, posterior, medial, lateral. Triangular, then medial, lateral, apex, base, this all the things. It will have one roof, one base. Yes, it is having the roof. It is having the base. And you can say, yes, roof and the floor. Roof and the floor better. And you can say the different content. There is the air, chair, almirah, AC, you own the chair. These all are the content. Getting the point? Okay. So now we are going to look for the our other things one by one. So what you can remember, see here, we are going to look for the our roof. Okay, what are the different structures situated at the roof? So you can say here, this is the diagrammatic presentation in your textbook. We are going to look for this our roof. So always the roof is formed by, during the general anatomy I told you that is our, yes, skin, superficial fascia, deep fascia, this all the things. So what you can remember, the roof is all the structures formed by one by one. Yes, I'm showing in this image, then we are going to draw. First, definitely the skin, and then superficial fascia with what? Cutaneous nerve and vessels, and then you will say the deep fascia. Now look here, what are the structures in the superficial fascia? We observed earlier, there is the one vein which is running laterally, cephalic vein, another vein which is running medially, that is basilic vein, the vein which is shunting together, median cubital vein. These all are in the superficial fascia, we have seen. Getting the point? Now these are having the close relation with the nerves. This particular cephalic vein, you can observe it is running closely with this particular nerve, that is nothing, lateral cutaneous nerve of the forearm, diagrammatic presentation. And here you can see the medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm also. Any other things are given, but these points are your representing diagram. Okay. And also in the roof you can see our bicipital aponeurosis. This is our bicipital aponeurosis, which is separating the antecubital vein to the our brachial artery. Okay. So different our structures are located in the superficial fascia. Getting the point? Okay. So what you can remember, this superficial fascia is having the cutaneous nerve. What the cutaneous nerve you can remember? Lateral cutaneous nerve of what? Definitely it is the forearm, that's a forearm. And on the medial side, what you will say? Medial cutaneous nerve of what? Definitely forearm. Remember, lateral side, which vein is situated? Answer is the cephalic vein. So it is related with the cephalic vein, and here is our medial side. So there is a basilic vein on the medial side. Okay. So these are the things. And which vessels are there? So definitely you can say there is our cephalic vein as well as basilic vein, and deep fascia is there. Along with the deep fascia, there is our bicipital aponeurosis, which merges with the deep fascia, intermuscular septa, and also it is attached to the ulna, posterior border part. Okay, fine. Okay, so these are the our different things. We are going to make a diagrammatic presentation again for the roof. So draw the arm and draw the forearm. Fine, sir. Now see here, what are the different structures? Do you remember? Again, for the representation, this is our lateral side, so lateral epicondyle region. Here is our medial side, so medial epicondyle region. Fine. Do you remember, in the roof the cephalic vein is running laterally. Okay, sir. So cephalic vein is running laterally. Okay. And then it is continuing in the arm also. Fine, sir. Basilic vein is winding from the back side and then coming in front of the elbow, making little bit easier for all of you. Yes, sir. Now try to understand. Suppose this is the bend of the elbow. We have seen our superficial veins of the upper limb, and here 1 centimeter below to this bend of the elbow, better to say 1 inch or 2.5 centimeter, the shunting vein is starting, which is running from cephalic vein towards the basilic vein. It is running upward and medially, okay, in the cubital fossa, opposite to the cubital fossa, that's an antecubital vein. In the midline portion, that's a median cubital vein, and then it is joining into the basilic vein, where answer is 1 inch above. So we have seen this all the points in our video superficial veins. So this distance, what I want to tell you, this particular distance is 1 inch is equal to 2.5 centimeter, and you can remember this distance also, that is our, yes, 1 inch is equal to 2.5 centimeter. Getting the point? Fine. Okay, so now try to understand the different labelings. Again, these are the content. So here you can say the cephalic vein. Yes, here you can see our basilic vein. Yes, sir. Here you can observe the vein running just opposite to the cubital fossa. That's why you will say NT. Also you can say median cubital vein. Fine, sir. Now you can see the different nerves. I'm making little bit easier. Okay. So with the cephalic vein, the nerve which is running, that is our lateral cutaneous nerve of forearm, and the nerve which is running with the basilic vein, cephalic vein and the basilic vein, that is our medial cutaneous nerve of forearm. So you can remember this is our medial cutaneous nerve of what? Forearm, running with the basilic vein. And here you can observe our lateral cutaneous nerve of what? Forearm, running with the cephalic vein. Okay, and there is our bicipital aponeurosis also. Yes, bicipital aponeurosis is running from the our lateral to the medial side. Okay, and it is deeper in location. It is deeper in location. Getting the point? Fine. So what you can say, this is our another structure situated at the roof, that is bicipital aponeurosis. In general anatomy and our biceps video we have seen. So what are the different structures at the roof? So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and the 5. Getting the point? So these are the different points about the roof. So the further part we will see in our next video. So thank you very much. God bless you all. All the best. Now we are starting our live doubt discussion. Thank you.